My goal last year was to spend more time having adventures and out on the dirt and on the trail, more time with family and a little less time at events. And well, mission accomplished. Guys, over the last year, I had some amazing adventures and I hit some really great trails. And today I want to share with you my top 10 favorite trails of last year. With some really good ones. Now, if you've been following along over the last couple months, you could probably guess what my number one favorite trail was this last year, but we'll see if you're right. And then at the end of this video, I want to introduce you to somebody very, very special. Now, it's going to require me to kind of go off script here. So typically on a Coffee One Take, I let the camera roll. We don't edit. I'll throw up some B-roll of some of the trails. But this time I'm going to ask that we just pause the camera for one moment while I bring in this very special someone I want to introduce you to. But first, if you are interested in having some coffee, this is the TrailRecon Adventure Blend. We have this over at TrailRecon.com. If you'd like to support the channel and enjoy some delicious coffee, this is a great blend, and there's all kinds of gear over on the website. We redesigned the website. The team is doing an amazing job with it. There's all kinds of stuff over there to help you outfit your vehicle for your next adventure. And I want to thank the sponsor of this video, which is onX Off-Road. onX Off-Road is an amazing off-road navigation system, and you're going to be able to find all of these trails on onX Off-Road. Plus, I'm also going to leave some video links if you want to go see my version of these. But onX just recently launched their new navigation in-app system, which is really neat. We tried it while we were on our Arizona trip, and it's really cool because instead of navigating on your street app and then switching over to your onX off-road app, you can do it all in one. So hit a waypoint and it's going to take you on-road, off-road, even back on and off-road to get to that waypoint. It's a great feature. So big thanks to onX Off-Road for supporting the channel. All right. Here's my top 10 list. Now, I will say there was two things that I didn't get to do this last year that I'm going to focus on doing this year. One is I wanted to get out to Colorado and explore some new trails I hadn't done before, so I'm planning on doing that this year. Also, I briefly was in the Pacific Northwest, but I want to go back up there and spend a little bit more time. So that's kind of my forward-looking project this year. Plus, well, if you watched the ending of the last video, there's a big hint somewhere else we might be going. Okay, number 10. This was the Hualapai Mountains, and it's BLM 7101 trail. That's what it's called. But this was up to the Boreana Mine in Arizona, and it was a beautiful trail. I was with the Center Force group. We were having an awesome adventure over several days, but I had never been on that trail. It was beautiful. We started in the desert, worked our way up the mountains, and then we got to the mine, which was absolutely massive. I mean, the ruins up there were huge. It was a big operation. We camped right there at the mine. The people I was with was great, but that trail all the way up the mountains, I think we went from like 3,000 feet in elevation over to like 6,500 feet in elevation. It was beautiful. It was a great trail, and I really liked the Boreana Mine. I actually want to go back and maybe spend a little bit of time. And if you've never been there before, just a little hint, if you go up past the mine a little bit, there's a little pond that actually has goldfish in it, which was pretty cool to see. So that's number 10. Number 9. Now, number 9 is a trail that I had done many years ago, but I hadn't been to in a while. And it's always fun to go back to a trail that you haven't been to in a while and kind of revisit it. And you know, as we get a little older, our memories aren't as good as they used to be. So I kind of forgot what that trail had in store for us. And Regina wanted to go do something difficult. And so I said, you know what, let's go to Heartbreak Ridge, which is up in Big Bear, California. And it's not a well-known trail. Everybody goes to John Bull and Holcomb Creek and Gold Mountain. Those are great trails, but not too many folks go to Heartbreak Ridge. It's a difficult trail, but it's on kind of the easier side of difficult. And we had a great day out on that trail. That trail has Beautiful scenery. It's got some good obstacles, nice tight technical sections, wide open sections, and it was really good for Regina because she was able to push her driving skills a little bit on that trail. And honestly, we just had a great day together. That was a really fun day on the trail, and sometimes the memories are what make the trail, and that was just a great day. So if you're looking for a good easy, difficult trail in Southern California, Heartbreak Ridge is a good one. Another one, and this was early on in the year, my good friend Nate from Dirt Lifestyle wanted to do a route through Southern California, kind of getting a little bit of everything. And I took him to a bunch of the trails that I had been to before, but about halfway through I was like, you know, Nate, there's one trail that I haven't done that I've always wanted to do, and since we were in pretty well built. Okay, I haven't had that happen in a while. So I'm sitting here talking, and somewhere over the last couple of minutes, my camera had stopped recording. It said that my card write speed was too slow. I've never had that happen before. So I had to go back inside, see where I left off, and we were talking about Nate and I doing a trip together. And so we hit a trail that I had never done before, which was Rodriquez Canyon, which is just on the east side of Julian down the mountain. And it's not a long trail, but I've driven past it so many times, and I was like, Nate, I really want to do this. And we had so much fun. It was difficult. There were big boulders and tight squeezes, and we were breaking taillights and pulling a winch and scraping and grinding and getting stuck, and we had a blast doing it. It's not a trail that I would do often, but because it was with the right person at the right time, it was great. And we had so much fun doing that. If you are looking for a really, and I would say extreme, not difficult, an extreme challenge trail, that's a good one to go tackle on. There's a lot of obstacles there to play on, and you can kind of go on and come off. So if you want to just experiment a little bit to see if you're ready for that, you can do that. So that was a lot of fun. I enjoyed that trail. Okay, another one, and this was just recently. So we did, with Sean from The Story Till Now, we did our second bucket trip together through Arizona, which was absolutely incredible. That full series is now live. It was 4 total videos, a lot of editing to do that series. In fact, I was going to post this video a while back, but I've been so focused on getting that series edited that I had to delay this a little bit, but an amazing trip. But one of my favorite trails out of that trip was the one on Copper Mine. So it's Copper Mine Trail in Arizona. And I had marked it as a waypoint on our route, and I didn't know if we were gonna go there or not, just really dependent on time and distance, and it worked out. Now, we got to camp late. We were on a shelf road, not my favorite thing in the world, but I didn't film a lot going into the canyon and up the mountain to the mine where we camped because it was dark and we were trying to get there. But I can tell you that the drive from when we got on the dirt until we got to the mine was beautiful. It was gorgeous, and it was a little bit technical, moderately, like it's a moderate technical trail. And then camping right there at that spot was just the perfect little location. And then the next day, we decided to continue and just do the full loop. And we had a blast. That trail was beautiful. It was scenic. It was rugged. There's a lot of mining stuff all over the place. It's definitely one I would like to go back to because there was a pretty big network of trails there that I think I would like to go back and explore. And because, we were trying to work our way north to the Grand Canyon, there was time distance we had to think about. So we were able to play for a few hours, but eventually we had to get on the road, even though we could have stayed there probably for another entire day just exploring. So I think that's a great trail. If you're in that area or if you're in Arizona and you're looking for a fun little moderate trail to go explore and there's some good camping out there, you got to be careful because there's a lot of private land. That's an awesome trail. Okay, this one's interesting. It's Ella Springs Road in Nevada. And let me explain what this was. So I was doing a trip with a couple guys. I was taking them to Nevada, and I was gonna go to some places that I'd been to before, but I was trying to do it on a route that I hadn't gone previously. And I thought that this was going to be a great route. And I wasn't wrong. It ended up being a really good route. So we were east of the town of Caliente in Nevada, and working our way kind of through some ranch roads, and then we found ourselves in this beautiful canyon. And we were kind of along the railroads, and then we would go off into the canyons and kind of come back. And after hours of exploring this, I guess it's technically a road, but it was dirt trail the whole way, we came to a road closed sign. The railroad apparently owns a lot of the portion of the area that we were on, and that they had closed that section off. So we were less than a mile from getting to the town of Caliente, and this is after having been on this trail for hours. We got to that road closed, and we had to backtrack and figure out, okay, how are we going? There was no way we could go all the way back. One, fuel would have been a concern, but two, how are we going to get to Caliente, which is where we need to get gas without going way out of the way. And thankfully, we were able to find another route, and it ended up being pretty amazing. We found a great camping spot up in the woods. That whole trip was great, but that trail was very memorable because the canyons we were in when we were on the BLM land was just beautiful. And I wouldn't mind going back there and exploring a little bit, because I think there's some other trails out there where maybe if I'd had a little bit more time to figure it out, we probably could have figured out a different route. But for me, that was a great trail. It was pretty nice. I wouldn't recommend anybody do that one, but maybe if you want to go out to that area and explore. Okay, where are we at here? Number 5. This one is interesting, so I'm going to read this off. I do have my notes here, guys. This is Forest Road 32E305. That doesn't mean anything, but this is up to Coyote Flats, which is in the eastern Sierra Nevada mountains. So I've been up there many times over the years. It's one of my favorite places to go in the summertime, in the spring, when there's not, snow up there and it's minus 10 degrees. But we went up there, we took the van. I took the van, and I went with a couple buddies, Agile Off-Road and a couple other friends that had vans, and we weren't sure if we were going to be able to get up to Coyote Flats in the vans, and actually it did really well. I had to use the locker a few times, but we made it up to Coyote Flats, and then we camped at a place that I had camped before, which was near a pond in the forest, and all that was great. But one of the guys had been to another place within Coyote Flats that I had never bothered to explore. And I am kicking myself now for never doing that. And that is that trail that I just mentioned right there. It branches off and takes you so deep up into the Sierra Mountains, and there's a huge network of trails up there. Found an old mine, but we camped at this overlook with the lake. Now, if I recall, I didn't film a lot of this. I probably have some footage of it, but wow, incredible. The vans did perform well. There were some trails that I could see where the van was not going to be successful, so I'm going to go back again and either take the Lake Cruiser or the Jeep and go explore some of those areas, because I've done a lot of Coyote Flats going south from that point, but that one kind of goes, I guess it goes west a little bit if I'm getting my coordinates right, and I want to go back up there and explore some more and do some more camping up there. Found some amazing camp spots. That is a place to go explore. If you've never been to the eastern Sierra Nevada mountains, guys, it needs to be on your bucket list. There's so many amazing places up there to explore. So yeah, that's good. I always love finding new things, and that was a new one that I really enjoyed. Okay, this next one. All right, now we're getting into the really good stuff. Okay, so I went to Easter Jeep Safari this last year, as always, and had a great time. And I was hanging out with Sean from The Story Till Now, Will from Venture to Roam, and Sean was like, "Hey, let's head out of Moab for a little bit and go explore the San Rafael Swell." And I was like, yeah, let's do that. I've spent lots of time in Moab. I've done many trails. I haven't done them all in Moab, but I'd never been out to the San Rafael Swell. And so it was a pretty good drive from Moab to get out there, maybe an hour and a half or so. And wow, I'm so glad that we decided to leave Moab, because we went out there and San Rafael Swell is absolutely beautiful. Now I know there's some things going on currently with land management out there, but you can still access a good portion of that area, especially if you want to go where we went, which was all pretty much easy access, and it went right through a lot of wilderness areas. So there's some conservation already in some of the areas that we were at, but we were on a route that allowed us to traverse through there. It's funny because sometimes if you look at a map, you'll see a trail that goes through, and if you click like right next to it, it'll say wilderness area. And you click on the other side, it'll say wilderness area. But if you zoom in kind of close, you'll see, oh no, inside they've allowed that route to exist. And so that still happens out there. San Rafael Swell was beautiful. I mean, the rock formations, it just looked like something out of Star Trek. It was super cool. We found a cabin and a mine out there, and we just had a great time. All of us got into some rugged trails, some super scenic stuff. It was a special day. We all had a blast. It was great hanging out with all those guys. We didn't get back to Moab until late that night. And I think, to do it right, you go out there and spend 2 days, 3 days just in that area, because there's so much to see all over there. And you could just camp and stay out there. But I didn't even have camping gear with me, so we had to come back to Moab and stay in the hotel. But that was incredible. Behind the Reef in San Rafael Swell. That was an amazing trail. All right. This next one is going to be, it's going to be another interesting name. So this is Interpark Road, and this is in Picacho, and I think I say that wrong every time. Picacho State Park in Southern California, just outside of Yuma on the California-Arizona border. There's a state park that isn't well known. In fact, I talked with one of the rangers when I was out there exploring for the very first time, and he says there's not even a sign on the freeway that tells people that there's a state park here. It's one of the least visited state parks in California. And it's beautiful. It's beautiful for us. Like, I don't think people that like going to places like, Yosemite and Yellowstone are going to love this park, but I love it. There's lots of trails, there's lots of geology, and you can get right up next to the Colorado River. There's some beautiful camping all in that area. I went out there twice this year. After the first time after finding it, I'm like, how have I never been out here before? I need to come spend more time out here. And I did that, and I'm going to go again, because there's still so many more trails that I want to go see where they go and go explore. Plus the camping on the Colorado River is incredible, and I did not bring my fishing pole either time. That's not going to happen again. I'm going to bring my fishing pole, because I talked to that ranger and he said the fishing there is amazing. In fact, he goes there on his days off to go fishing on the river. So I'm going back, and if you haven't been out there, you definitely should. The trails are incredible. Easy, moderate trails, lots to explore. If you start off at that Valley of the Names, which is that kind of rock graffiti area, that's a pretty interesting place to kind of kick off your trip up to the park, and then all the way up. And I keep saying park, and it's Interpark Road, but it's really a trail. And after you get towards the end, the trail gets a little more rugged. I think going in, it's pretty easy, and depending on the route you take. But on the outside, as you're going north and kind of west, the trail gets a little more rugged. You're in some canyons. There's some volcanic activity up there, which is pretty great. So I will be going back out there again this year for sure. And I think it's worth checking out. All right, number 2. All right, this one was a bit of a fail, but it was also a success. So McPhersons Pass, and this is in Kofa, Arizona, and it's the Kofa to Castle Dome mine, the Big Eye mine. Kofa's amazing, guys. It's huge, and there's a lot of trails out there. And why I say it was not a success and it was a success. So Kofa is known for being a wildlife refuge, and I had hoped to go out there and see some bighorn sheep, and I didn't see any. and I tried. I really, really, really tried. People tell me they're all over the place here and there, and still, the only time I've seen bighorn sheep was when I was in Canada. I have not seen a single bighorn sheep in the United States, and so that's still on my mission to complete. But Copa is awesome, and I explored there the first day, just kind of taking a route that I had kind of pre-planned, and the next day I went through this McPhersons Pass, and man, it was beautiful. A moderate trail, but gorgeous through these canyons and mountains and the desert. And then ending up at that kind of the mine, which was the Castle Dome mine. It's been restored. That was really cool. It was like an old ghost town, really interesting thing. And this was a solo trip, so I was kind of having fun, just kind of taking my time and doing my own thing out there. Really enjoyed it. And then the next day I kind of went and went a little bit further to the Big Eye mine. Lots of trails out there. I would like to go back out there again and explore some more. And I'll bring my binoculars. Maybe I need to bring like a spotting scope to search out these bighorn sheep, because one of these days I'm going to see them. Okay, now for number one. And I think you guys probably already know this, but the trip of a lifetime this year for me was with Sean from the Story Till Now, when we did our very first bucket trip together to the Arctic Ocean. It was absolutely incredible. I had expectations for what that trip was going to be like, and it far exceeded my expectations. The scenery, the wildlife, getting to the Arctic Ocean, getting to know Sean at really at a good level. Like, we really just bonded a lot on that trip, and that's why we decided to do the Arizona bucket trip, and we've got some more coming. That was an amazing trail. I should say amazing trip. And the trail, the Dempster Highway. Yeah, it's a road, it's a highway, it's a trail. And I thought that was just going to be kind of an easy, boring drive with the goal of getting to the Arctic Ocean. And that wasn't it at all. Like, man, just mind-blowingly breathtaking. Like the diversity of landscapes that we saw going up there. I mean, we're talking, what is the Dempster? 540 miles one way? So it's over 1,000 miles up and back. The diversity you see going through the Northwest Territory, you start in the Yukon, you're in the Northwest Territory, is just, it's breathtaking, guys. We didn't see a lot of wildlife on the Dempster, but it was, man, the camp spots, camping on that frozen river. Oh, gosh, that was incredible. Getting to the Arctic Ocean and camping right there. We were the first ones in the season that the ocean was still frozen. That whole trip, I will never, ever, ever forget it. It was absolutely incredible. If you have the ability to do that trip, it's a big commitment. You're taking a lot of time off. It's a lot of expenses. I'm telling you guys, you should do it. I'm so thankful I did. I am going to work hard this year to top of that trip, and we'll see if it happens. But yeah, Dempster Highway, that was number one for me. Okay, I said at the start of this video, I want to introduce you to someone. So I'm going to pause the video here, and we'll bring them in. Guys, let me introduce you to the newest addition to the TrailRecon family. This is Luna, and I just woke her up from a nap, and she is the sweetest thing in the world. She's a 9.5-week-old Springer Spaniel, so we've had her for about a week and a half, and yeah, we've bonded pretty good, and I'm excited to see her grow up, to take her out on some adventures. I plan on kind of outfitting my vehicles to accommodate her. I'm looking forward to having a little companion on some of these upcoming trips. So that's Luna. I wanted to just bring her in, say hi, because all goes well, you guys will be seeing a lot more of her on the channel. All right, guys, I would love to hear what your favorite trail of last year was, because I'm always looking for new stuff. And if you found a trail this last year that was incredible, put it down in the comments below. And we got a lot of exciting adventures coming up, so we will have a whole new list of trails for next year. Okay, you're getting mouthy. We got to work on the mouthiness. She's a sweetie. Thanks for watching, guys. Safe travels.